This is an introduction to creating an e-lecture using Articulate Studio. Articulate Studio is a suite of tools, and the most important of which for our purposes is Articulate Presenter, and it works in cooperation with PowerPoint. So what you see here is PowerPoint, but I've installed Articulate Studio, and I know that because if I look up at the tabs here, there's a new tab called Articulate. If I click on that tab, you can see a whole number of buttons appear with things that we can use. The things that I'm interested in for this session are record narration and also preview and publish. So the first thing we're going to do is load in some slides that I prepared earlier. So I go to the File menu. This is just normal PowerPoint. I could click Browse, but I've already got a link because I opened it earlier. So I'm going to use that quick link to load up my slides. So this is a set of slides about an introduction to statistics. The first one is about hypotheses. And I want to record narration for this particular slide. So all I do is click on the record narration button and a new window will open up. Okay, so here's the window. It's got a copy of the slide and there are two buttons at the top that I'm going to make use of. The first one is start recording and the second one is the play button that allows you to review what you've recorded. So I'm just going to record a little narration now with start recording. So this is an introduction to statistics and I'm going to begin by looking at hypotheses. So I click stop recording. If I want to play that back just to make sure it sounds okay, I just click the play button. So this is an introduction to statistics and I'm going to begin by looking at hypotheses. Okay, I'm happy with that, so all I need to do is click save and close. If I wasn't happy with it, I could just start recording again. That would overwrite the existing one. But I'm happy with it, so I click save and close and we go back to PowerPoint now. It's recorded the narration for this slide. I'm going to prove that to you by going to the preview button and selecting preview this slide, and it will play back the narration. So this is an introduction to statistics and I'm going to begin by looking at hypotheses. Okay, happy with that, so I click close preview. Now if I wasn't happy with what I recorded, I can actually edit it, and to do that I just click the audio editor. It will open up a new window with the waveform, and this will contain narrations for all of the slides all in one editor, so I can actually edit all of the slides here. You can see where each slide begins and ends by these little markers at the top here. They're numbered. If I change the scale with this adjuster on the right, you can see the introduction. Get a decent part. The introduction lasts 7.84 seconds, and then it moves on to the second slide, which is intended learning outcomes. If you wanted to delete part of what you've recorded, you can just select a part and you can play that back. And I'm going to delete it. You just click the delete button and it disappears. If I wanted to add something, I would just click the record button, press record again. I'm adding something in here. Can play that back. I'm adding something in here. If I'm happy, save. That's the bit I've added. So now it's going to sound a bit odd, but we'll play it back just so you can see what I've done. So this is an introduction to statistics. I'm adding something in here. Begin by looking at hypotheses. Okay, a bit strange, but we're going to keep that. So I click save and close. And that's it. I've now recorded and edited some narration for the first slide. All I do is repeat the process for the remaining slides. My advice is try and keep the editing to a minimum. Only edit something if you've said something that's completely wrong. Otherwise you quickly get sucked into editing and you'll spend hours and hours editing rather than recording. Generally speaking, for any lecture, I try and record each slide in one take. That's the end of this session. I hope you found that useful.